Alaska's North Slope, the frozen Colville River. A team of scientists has pitched camp here at the base of these cliffs, willing to brave the perilous polar winter to investigate a startling discovery.
There it is. The hadrosaur looks like the base of the tail. Success.
They've unearthed dinosaur bones near the North Pole. The animal is called Edmontosaurus, a gentle giant. A 35-foot-long, 4-ton, duck-billed plant eater. A member of the hadrosaur family found in 70-million-year-old rock, a mere 50 miles from the Arctic Ocean, where temperatures can drop as low as minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit. According to conventional wisdom, it shouldn't be here, because this is how dinosaurs are typically pictured. Cold-blooded reptiles living in tropical climes, not in cold Arctic environments like this one. And the hadrosaur is not alone. In 2 sites along Alaska's Colville River, paleontologists have recently unearthed 8 distinct species, represented by hundreds of fossils.
On this table are examples of the biodiversity of the animals, the vertebrate animals that we found up on the North Slope. And we have a variety of meat-eating dinosaurs. And this is the left front jaw, an animal called Gorgosaurus.
30 feet long, almost 3 tons, nearly a match for its fearsome cousin Tyrannosaurus rex. Gorgosaurus was at the top of the food chain. In competition, Troodon, 6 feet long, 150 pounds, small but ferocious, and Dromaeosaurus, a wolf-like 2-legged hunter, which may have had feathers as insulation.
And here we have a horn core from our Pachyrhinosaurus.
A massive 4-ton plant eater with a broad, bony frill protecting its neck, an elongated skull with a beaked mouth, and a thick bone above the nasal opening. Pachycephalosaurus, a 2-legged plant-eating brute with a thick, bony dome on its head, possibly used for combat or defense. And Thessalosaurus, another 2-legged animal thought to be a plant eater. The unexpected discovery of so many species living in the Arctic is leading scientists to rethink old assumptions about dinosaur biology.
The traditional view was that dinosaurs were all overgrown reptiles that lived under tropical conditions. When we found polar dinosaurs, however, it was driven home to everyone that dinosaurs could live under very different and thrive under very different climate conditions.
Scientists long believed that dinosaur biology resembled that of cold-blooded reptiles, like crocodiles, animals that require warmth to survive and cannot withstand prolonged exposure to temperatures below freezing. But not one crocodile fossil has been found along the Colville, which suggests that polar dinosaurs found a way to adapt to an environment that their cold-blooded cousins couldn't tolerate. But how? Luckily for the scientists, many important clues are preserved in the rock. When these animals died, layer upon layer of sediment covered their bodies. Minerals slowly replaced bone tissue to create fossils. Then, 45 million years ago, geologic forces began to uplift the ground, exposing the edge of the fossil layer along these frozen cliffs.
Well, there's 2 pieces of bone right here. So here's another piece of bone.
I think that's definitely the bed.
Oh, there's enough bone in here already that would indicate that this very well may be the Liscombe bed.
It was here in 1961 that Shell Oil geologist Robert Liscombe came across a large fossil. He sent the specimen back to his office, intending to have it classified by a paleontologist.
Unfortunately, Liscombe died the next year in a rock slide, so they were in a Shell warehouse until about the mid-1980s when Shell was cleaning house, and they sent them to the USGS. There, a paleontologist by the name of Charles Repenning found the bones and immediately recognized that they were dinosaur bones.
Now, scientists Tom Rich and Kevin May are about to go deeper into the Liscombe bone bed than anyone has ever attempted.
My gut feeling is that it's going to go a lot further back than 3 to 4 meters. Yes, that black layer could very well be the fossilized layer.
With the help of seasoned Alaskan gold miner Bobby Fithian, they will spend the next month blasting a tunnel into the permafrost. Once inside, they will dig down into the bone bed, the rock layer where fossils, if they're there, lie packed together, protected from the elements. They begin with a set of relatively small charges.
Fire in the hole!
The goal is to open a passageway about a foot above the fossil bed, but no closer. The worry is that if they don't angle the blasts just right, they'll destroy the treasures they came to retrieve.
Take a look at this.
Distal tibia.
That was found right down here, at this level here.
So far, they seem to be right on target.
It's a good start.
Blasting for fossils is an unusual way to do paleontology, but not for Rich. One of the first scientists to discover polar dinosaur fossils, not in Alaska, but at the opposite end of the world.
I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but as far as trying new techniques, and it worked. 20 years ago, I cut a tunnel. I cut a tunnel in Australia.
There, he used dynamite to expose a narrow fossil layer buried deep in the rock. That bone mine yielded thousands of fossils, mostly well-preserved small pieces. Proof that 100 million years ago, dinosaurs lived near the South Pole, an environment even colder than this one near the North Pole, where he's trying again to find dinosaurs.
I mean, we've got small bone in here. Look at this.
Where?
Right in here?
Yeah, this little.
Paleontologist Kevin May has searched for fossils all over Alaska, but this is his first tunnel. And he's excited by the hadrosaur bones that are beginning to be exposed as they go deeper.
This is exactly what we came here for. This is the best I've ever seen this stuff. I just am blown out on this one.
Yeah, so we don't need to go deeper. We just need to go straight in at about this level. Give yourself maybe 10 centimeters above what is obviously a fossil layer into this stuff.
The initial digging to establish the entrance to the tunnel has already unearthed some large bones.
That's definitely a rib.
But most are in poor shape.
Some type of long bone here. Unfortunately, it's fairly well powdered.
Because they were lying close to the surface, the fossils have been broken and worn by the freeze-thaw cycle, the punishing effect when water seeps into the ground and then expands when frozen, cracking open rocks. The purpose of the tunnel is to dig deep into the permafrost, which is not prone to those seasonal changes, and hopefully find better preserved, smaller, and more delicate bones.
When we get in, what we hope 20 meters, we're going to be beyond that. So we're going to see bone for the first time that's never been through that.
With the entrance set safely above the fossil layer, they give Bobby Fithian the go-ahead to complete the blasting. When they're finished, The tunnel stretches a remarkable 65 feet into the cliff, laying bare rock that hasn't seen the sun for tens of millions of years.
We're gonna finish securing the tunnel and supporting this brow.
The team has successfully completed the first phase of their project. The delicate work of excavating the bone bed will begin in 5 months' time. During the Arctic summer, when the weather is milder and the sun remains above the horizon nearly 24 hours a day.
There isn't any reason for this tunnel not to be here at least 100 years from now if you take care of it.
Okay.
You've got a nice tunnel. You're going to find some dinosaurs.
Oh, yes.
Good job, buddy.
For Tom, this is the culmination of years of struggle.
Dr. Rich?
And he knows that without the skills of the Alaskan miners, it could never have come to pass.
I'd like to thank all of you. You know, you guys have helped me achieve something I've been trying to get to for 18 years.
Though the goal this time was merely to build the tunnel, their work paid an unexpected dividend. Hadrosaur bones. These duck-billed plant-eaters appeared about 145 million years ago and were one of the most successful groups living, right up until the time that all dinosaurs died out, around 65 million years ago. Hadrosaurs may have owed their success to several important adaptations. They were one of the first large animals to evolve fleshy cheeks and hundreds of teeth that were continually replaced. Features that made it possible for them to chew their food instead of just biting and swallowing, as other creatures did. They also built nests and apparently tended their eggs, like brooding birds. Hadrosaurs are the most common dinosaur found at the Liscum bed. But 28 miles upriver from the tunnel, atop a 300-foot cliff, a second team of paleontologists has made another remarkable find. A mass grave containing at least 4 species of dinosaur, including Gorgosaurus, Edmontosaurus, Troodon, and Pachyrhinosaurus.
This is the most diverse assemblage of of dinosaur bones here around the North Slope. It's got a variety of kinds of animals. It's got tremendous bone density. There's an abundance here like would never have believed.
Tony Fiorillo and his team are doing paleontology the old-fashioned way, with picks, shovels, and grim determination.
There's some sites I've worked in the lower 48 where a chimpanzee with a popsicle stick can work the localities. This quarry is not one of those localities.
It's late summer, but this hardly feels like a vacation. The treacherous climb, the frozen ground, the freezing rain are a daily trial. But it's all been worth it, because Tony has just found the crown jewel of the Colville. A massive skull, flattened but otherwise intact.
This is the right side of the face.
It takes a trained eye to see the shape embedded in the rock, but to Tony, it's crystal clear.
This is the skull of a horned dinosaur. It's upside down. So you're looking at the right side, or the right cheek, of something that we've been calling Pachyrhinosaurus.
Pachyrhinosaurus, the horned dinosaur, a relative of Triceratops, previously known only to live much farther south. And there are others.
There's 14 individuals of a horned dinosaur.